Hello everyone and welcome back to Newcastle Fans TV. Now then, the transfer merry-go-round is in full flow, and I was quite taken with something Jamie Rubin said on the recent Business of Sport podcast, that Newcastle United have to make their pound go further than their now big spending rivals, I suppose. Chelsea are now a rival. Manchester United are now a rival, whether they like it or not. And other teams of the so-called Big Six are now rivals. But because of FFP, as Jamie Rubin says, we have to look and make our pound go further. So where can we do that? First things first, I don't think the signing of Declan Rice has ever been on the cards. That kind of top-level English player comes with a heavy premium. We've seen Jude Bellingham all but sign for Real Madrid today. And for those Saudi conspiracy theorists, Messi isn't going to any Saudi Arabian team, so won't be looking for a little cheeky loan deal at St James's anytime soon. So where can we look to get a bit of value this summer in the transfer market, whilst still making ambitious signings to spearhead a Champions League campaign next season, alongside a cheeky cup run and to consolidate our place in Europe from the Premier League next season? Well, viewers of the channel will know how much of a fan I am of Sandro Tonali from AC Milan. He actually took a pay cut to sign from Brescia on a permanent deal after a loan spell at the San Siro. Now, he's a defensive midfielder, not an attacking centre midfielder, which we seem to be linked with quite a lot lately, Maddison being the obvious one. But with Leicester wanting 40 to 50 million for Maddison, maybe it's worth signing a defensive midfielder to allow Bruno to get forward. There's going to be a lot of times next season, as we've seen already in the season just gone, that teams are going to come to St James's Park not necessarily to play football, but to park the bus. And that's something we might have to get used to next season. So with someone like Tonali being able to sit in front of our back four, I think that would allow Bruno to get forward and demonstrate his unlocking technical ability to split a defence and hopefully win us a game, as we saw towards the end of his first, sort of half season, when he signed in the January window in 2022. So, looking further forward, Newcastle, if reports are to be believed, are in the market for another player in the final third. Now, these players are always so expensive. Isaac was around 60 million. So whoever you're going to sign really to kind of fit in the first team picture is going to cost a fair wedge of money and probably going to take a large chunk of the budget with them. Now, who knows what's going to happen with ASM? I, for one, have always defended him, as regular viewers of the channel will know. I love him to bits. There's always going to be a place for him in our squad for me, and I want to see him in the Champions League in a Newcastle United shirt next season. Someone else that I wouldn't mind seeing, and I think could be a potential one. Now, look, first things first, we at NFTV are not in the know. We've never claimed to be in the know, and we'll never be in the know because, these are just my opinions about where we could potentially look. Dan Ashworth, if you're watching, hit me up, but, it's fine. Federico Chiesa come back pretty strongly after a nightmare stint of injury, and obviously at Juventus now. Who knows if this is a realistic target, but what is realistic for Newcastle United anymore outside of the real big, silly money transfers? Then we just don't know. 40, 50 million euros, that's where we're at now, which it's still a bit surreal to say that, but that's the reality. I don't know. I think he's obviously got great potential. Look, Italian international. So a couple of these ones from Serie A, I think that's where the value can be had, as Jamie Rubin said, to make our pound go further. yeah, Chiesa, great amount of ability. I'd love to see him in the Premier League with Newcastle United. I mean, let me know what you think in the comments. Who would you target in midfield and in the final third? We all know that we're going to be after a left back as well, and maybe even another centre half. Who knows what's going to happen with Jamal Lascelles this summer? Who knows? It's going to be a very interesting transfer window, but those are my opinions on the players I would look for. Let me know yours in the comments below and hit that like button. Make sure you steer clear of the in the nose and the just BS rumours you see everywhere flying around on Twitter. And nevertheless, it's going to be a very exciting summer for transfers. So like the video, subscribe, and stay tuned to Newcastle Fans TV.